At first glance, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Mr. Harold, 74, had been feeling increasingly forgetful, dizzy, and fatigued over the past few months. His family feared the worst, early dementia, perhaps. But when his neurologist reviewed his lifestyle, one overlooked detail stood out. Harold had been reheating his meals daily in an old plastic container with no safety label. That seemingly harmless routine was, in fact, exposing him to BPA and chemical residues, substances that have been linked to hormone disruption, memory decline, and cardiovascular issues in older adults. The truth is, many seniors spend most of their time at home and cook or reheat their meals with whatever is available in the kitchen. But few realize that certain pots, pans, containers, and utensils can leach toxic compounds, especially when scratched, heated, or used improperly. In this video, we'll uncover 7 common kitchen items that may look innocent but are quietly releasing harmful substances into your food every day, especially dangerous for people over 60. We'll dive into the science behind chemicals like BPA, PFAS, and heavy metals, how they affect aging bodies, and what safer alternatives you should be using instead. If you're over 60 or care for someone who is, don't skip this video. It might change how you look at your kitchen forever. And don't forget to subscribe to Life in Words for weekly insights on how to live longer, healthier, and smarter, starting right at home. 1. Old plastic food containers. The hidden BPA hazard. They're cheap, lightweight, and everywhere. But those old plastic containers sitting in your kitchen cabinet, especially the ones without a BPA-free label, may be doing more harm than you realize. BPA, bisphenol A, is a chemical commonly found in older plastics, particularly in food storage containers, microwavable bowls, and even some reusable water bottles. When plastic is heated, scratched, or aged, it can leach BPA into your food, especially oily or acidic dishes. Why is this a problem for seniors? Studies from the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences show that BPA acts as an endocrine disruptor, mimicking hormones and interfering with the body's natural balance. In older adults, this can lead to memory and attention decline, increased risk of heart disease and high blood pressure, greater susceptibility to type 2 diabetes, worsening of age-related hormonal imbalances. What makes it even more dangerous is that many seniors reheat food directly in these containers, unknowingly accelerating the chemical leaching process. Microwaving old plastic without a BPA-free label is one of the most common ways toxic exposure happens in everyday life. What to do instead? Replace old plastic containers every 12 months, especially if they're scratched or cloudy. Look for containers clearly marked BPA-free or made from borosilicate, glass, ceramic, or high-grade stainless steel. Never microwave food in unmarked plastic. Transfer it to a glass dish first. If you're still using plastic containers from 5 years ago, comment "Time to upgrade" below. We'll help you choose safer options. 2. Scratched non-stick pans, a silent source of toxic PFAS. That pan you've been using for the last 10 years, the one with the non-stick coating peeling at the edges, it may be one of the most dangerous items in your entire kitchen. Most non-stick cookware is coated with PFAS, per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances, a group of human-made chemicals designed to resist heat, oil, and stains. But when these pans get scratched, overheated, or old, they begin to release PFAS into your food and into the air you breathe. For seniors, this is no small matter. PFAS have been linked to chronic inflammation, high cholesterol and heart disease, immune system suppression, increased risk of kidney and liver damage, possible links to cognitive decline and cancer. What makes PFAS particularly dangerous is that they are persistent chemicals. They stay in the human body for years, and accumulate over time. Seniors, whose detox systems, liver and kidneys, are often less efficient, are especially vulnerable to long-term PFAS buildup. Worse yet, PFAS are odorless and tasteless, so you won't know they're there until the effects show up months or even years later. What to do instead? Stop using any non-stick cookware that is scratched or more than 3 to 5 years old. Switch to safer alternatives like ceramic-coated pans, cast iron, or enameled cast iron, which are naturally non-stick when properly seasoned or maintained. Look for cookware labeled PFAS-free or certified by organizations like GreenGuard or NSF. If you're still using an old non-stick pan, comment "Time to switch" below. We'll show you the safest options for seniors. 3. Plastic utensils and high heat. A daily dose of microtoxins. They look harmless. A plastic spatula for stirring soup. A plastic spoon for flipping eggs. But when exposed to heat, these everyday utensils can quietly leach chemicals into your food, especially if they're cheap, unmarked, or starting to warp or discolor. When plastic is heated, whether in a pot, a pan, or even in hot soup, it can release toxic compounds such as melamine, linked to kidney damage when consumed in small amounts over time. Phthalates, chemicals used to soften plastics, known to disrupt hormones and affect brain function. Microplastics, tiny particles that break off during repeated heating and scraping, which can enter the digestive system and accumulate. For seniors, the danger is even greater. Age-related declines in liver and kidney function mean your body has a harder time filtering these toxins out. Over time, these compounds can contribute to inflammation, cognitive decline, and weakened immunity. What's especially concerning is that many of these utensils don't show obvious damage, but the longer you use them with heat, the higher the risk. What to do instead? Avoid plastic spoons, spatulas, or ladles for cooking, especially when frying, boiling, or stir-frying. Use utensils made from food-grade silicone, heat-resistant, natural wood like bamboo, or stainless steel, all of which are safer for hot foods. Replace any plastic utensil that's warped, scratched, or discolored. If you're still cooking with plastic tools daily, comment "I'm switching to wood," and we'll help you find safer alternatives for your kitchen. 4. Aluminum food containers. A hidden threat to brain health, aluminum containers are lightweight, inexpensive, and widely used for storing or reheating food. But here's the problem. When aluminum comes into contact with acidic or salty foods like tomato sauce, lemon juice, or soy sauce, it can leach aluminum ions directly into your meal. That's where the danger begins, especially for older adults. Scientific studies have shown that long-term exposure to aluminum is linked to neurotoxicity, including increased risk of Alzheimer's disease, memory loss, and confusion. Slower motor coordination, elevated oxidative stress in the brain. This is particularly worrisome for seniors because the blood-brain barrier weakens with age, making it easier for harmful substances like aluminum to accumulate in the brain over time. You may not notice anything after a single meal, but when aluminum containers are used daily for storing leftovers or heating up food, the risk grows silently. Worse still, reheating food in aluminum containers, especially in ovens or on stovetops, dramatically increases leaching rates. What to do instead? Avoid using bare aluminum containers for acidic, salty, or hot foods. Use glass containers, enameled dishes, or food-grade stainless steel for both storage and reheating. If you must use aluminum trays, e.g. during parties, line them with baking paper or parchment before placing food inside. If you've been storing or reheating food in aluminum trays, comment "Time to switch from foil" below. Let's keep your brain protected, one meal at a time. PVC plastic wrap, hormone disruptors in disguise. Plastic wrap might seem like a harmless kitchen essential. You use it to cover leftovers, wrap fruit, or seal your sandwich. But if your plastic wrap is made from PVC, polyvinyl chloride, and especially if it's cheap or unbranded, it may be silently releasing phthalates, a group of chemicals known for disrupting hormonal balance. Here's the issue. When PVC wrap comes into contact with fatty or warm foods like cheese, meat, or oily dishes, it can transfer these hormone-disrupting chemicals into your meal. Why does this matter for seniors? As we age, our hormonal systems naturally become more fragile. Introducing external hormone mimics, like phthalates, can lead to increased fatigue and mood swings, thyroid disruption, higher risk of cardiovascular problems, worsening memory and focus. Worse yet, phthalates are endocrine disruptors, meaning they interfere with how your body regulates growth, metabolism, and even brain function. For seniors already dealing with age-related changes, this chemical interference can significantly affect overall well-being. PVC wraps often don't carry obvious labels, making it hard to know what you're using. And sadly, many low-cost wraps on the market contain these harmful compounds. What to do instead? Look for phthalate-free or PVC-free plastic wrap, usually made from safer materials like polyethylene, PE. Better yet, switch to parchment paper, beeswax wrap, or reusable silicone lids. Avoid wrapping hot or oily foods in any kind of plastic. Let them cool, and use glass containers with lids. If you've used plastic wrap daily for years, comment "switching to safer wrap" below. We'll show you healthy, eco-friendly alternatives you'll love. 6. Low-quality metal cups. Heavy metals. Hiding in every sip. A shiny metal cup may look sturdy and modern, but if it's made from low-grade aluminum or mixed metals of unknown origin, it could be leaching heavy metals into your drinks, especially when exposed to hot liquids like tea, coffee, or even warm water. Many inexpensive cups, teapots, and tumblers sold online or at local markets aren't labeled with safety standards. Without proper food-grade certification, these items may contain lead, cadmium, nickel, or aluminum alloys that are unstable when heated. For older adults, this is a serious concern. Why? Because as we age, kidney and liver function decline, making it harder to detox heavy metals. Nervous system sensitivity increases, leaving the brain more vulnerable to toxins. Long-term exposure, even in small doses, can lead to fatigue, brain fog, or memory issues, joint pain and inflammation, higher risk of neurological conditions like Parkinson's. You may not taste the metals, and the damage builds silently over time, especially if you're drinking from that same cup every day for years. What to do instead? Use cups and mugs made from high-quality ceramic, borosilicate glass, or stainless steel clearly marked food grade like 304 or 188. Avoid heating drinks in unmarked metal containers. If your metal cup is starting to rust, discolor, or feels unusually light, it's time to toss it. If you're using metal drinkware and aren't sure of its safety, comment "Time to check my cup" below. We'll help you find better, safer options. 7. Harsh metal scrubbers. Damaging cookware, releasing hidden toxins. You might think a strong scrub means a cleaner pot, but using harsh metal scrubbers, those steel wool pads or rough wire brushes, can quietly damage your cookware and make it more dangerous over time, especially for older adults. When you scrub too aggressively, especially on non-stick, aluminum, or coated surfaces, you create tiny scratches and abrasions. These scratches may not look serious, but they can break down protective coatings, exposing the metal underneath and causing Leaching of chemicals like PFAS from nonstick surfaces. Release of aluminum ions from untreated metal. A buildup of bacteria and food residue in the micro-scratches over time. What's worse, once those coatings start to degrade, every future meal prepared in that pan may contain small amounts of toxins, even if you're just boiling vegetables or heating up soup. For seniors, the risk is even more concerning. Thinner gut lining and weakened immune systems increase vulnerability to chemical exposure. Long-term use of scratched cookware can lead to digestive upset, metal accumulation, and inflammatory responses in the body. What to do instead? Replace harsh scrubbers with non-abrasive sponges, soft brushes, or plant-based scrub pads. Use baking soda paste or soaked vinegar water to clean tough stains. Gentle, yet effective. If your cookware is already scratched or peeling, it's time to retire it, no matter how attached you are to it. If you've been using metal scrubbers for years, comment, "Time to scrub smarter," and we'll share safer cleaning methods that protect both your pots and your health. Conclusion: a safer kitchen means a longer, healthier life. Our kitchens are places of comfort, nourishment, and daily routine. But for many older adults, they can also be sources of silent, long-term harm, not because of the food we eat, but because of what we cook and store it in. From scratched non-stick pans to cheap plastic wrap, each of the 7 items we discussed may seem harmless at first glance. But when used daily, especially over years, they can quietly introduce toxic chemicals, heavy metals, and hormone disruptors into your body. And for seniors, whose systems are more vulnerable, these exposures matter more than ever. The good news is, you don't need to overhaul your entire kitchen. Small, mindful changes, like switching from plastic to glass, replacing an old pan, or using a softer sponge, can dramatically reduce your risk and help you cook, eat, and live with greater peace of mind. Every choice you make in the kitchen is a message to your body. You can choose to support your memory, protect your heart, and nourish your brain, not just through what's on your plate, but how it gets there. If this video opened your eyes to even one hidden danger in your kitchen, take action today. Change one item. Start with one drawer. That one decision could be the reason you feel stronger, clearer, and healthier a year from now. Let us know in the comments which kitchen item surprised you the most, and what you're planning to replace first. And don't forget to subscribe to Life in Words, where we bring you weekly, science-based advice on how to live longer, age better, and take control of your well-being, one small habit at a time. Because your health doesn't begin at the doctor's office. It begins in your kitchen.